Ave, dear listeners, if you are wondering why is the name of the video in Latin, the answer is pretty simple. I had a stream last month with Cotton T and some other people in which we had a part talking about why Latin is important in high schools and why it should be mandatory in some high schools. I will of course link the stream in the description. Today we have a important subject to talk about. We will be talking about living in chains. No, not those kinds of chains, you fucking white males that make up 97.8% of my demographics in my channel. No, I'm not talking about those chains. I'm talking about intellectual chains. Now, what do I mean under intellectual chains? I mean some kind of chains that make your consciousness and subconsciousness try to eradicate everything you do not like or that your ideology does not approve of. And armed with that knowledge, we go to an expedition in western Germania, in the Teutog forest, to conquer some What kind of intellectual chains am I talking about? I'm talking about intellectual chains that put people like Steve Shives in a position that they cannot enjoy bands, they cannot watch movies, they cannot identify with characters in those movies or actors who play them, because those people, those writers, those band members, those actors, or even the director are of the wrong race, wrong gender, wrong nationality, or even the wrong sexual orientation. I'm talking about an ideology that is linked to regressivism, to brainwashing and mind control, that can only survive by putting their members into a hiatus or even a brainwashed state that they cannot absorb new informations if those informations are not from people who are oppressed, who were oppressed, or who are oppressed at this moment. Just ask yourself, have you ever been in a situation that you've stopped listening to a band, stopped watching a movie, stopped liking an actor because they said something that was perceived racist by the perpetually offended brigade, or was considered to be transgressive, or if they made a generalization or a stereotype over a nationality, a race, or a sexual orientation? Yes, I know, it does sound ridiculous, and it does sound like a question that most of the people should say no. But if you are among those people who said yes to any of those questions, then I ask you, do you have a problem with people's political affiliations, sexual orientation, nationality, race, or gender? If you say no to those questions, but you still have said yes to stop listening to a band because they said something that was perceived as transgressive, I ask you, what is your intellectual boundary? What is the boundary you set for other people to know that is unacceptable for you? What is the boundary? Is the boundary a generalization towards black people, that they are mostly fatherless or born out of wedlock? Is that the limit? Or is the limit saying that women are not capable for construction work? After all, if you answer those questions honestly, you will know where you are put on the SJW scale, and then you will actually know what it means to live in chains, intellectual chains. You will know what it means to be Vivum Excoriari.